Okay, so we are live. Hello, everybody, guys. Welcome back to Staying Connected. It is myself and Ella, as you can see. Um, so this is your weekly Wednesday session of Staying Connected. We'll do some housekeeping, and then we'll look at some good news articles together. So, first things first, right off the bat, we've got Gary, Vicky, and Charlotte. And Gary saying that his dog's being naughty, so hopefully that's bless it. I've seen Gary's dog; it's absolutely adorable. Really, really, really cute dog. Um, he had it when we did the stream. It made a little appearance, and it was absolutely adorable. So first thing first, guys. I think that this might be the last Wednesday Staying Connected session. Um, simply just because obviously this was something we started during the pandemic, and since then we've kind of obviously like a lot of our provisions moved digital. We were all working from home, so it kind of made sense. And then along with that, a lot of our commercial work, at least, wasn't, got put on hold basically because everyone was furloughed and so on. But now the new term has started. We're all getting busy again, and the commercial work starting again as well. So we just don't simply have as much time as we did. Um, and yeah, so we're still going to do it, but as far as I'm aware, this is going to be the last Wednesday session, and then following this Wednesday stream, it's going to be from then on Friday and Monday. I think is that right, Ella? That's what we agreed so far. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. For some reason, it's saying that they can't hear you, which is weird. Give me 2 seconds. Which desktop audio either. Can you say something again, Ella?
Hello.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm sound checking. 1 2 1 2.
It's just not coming through. Can any could
Your mic stopped doing that weird thing now.
I took my headphones out, and
Okay.
I wonder if that's making a difference at all.
Oh, Gary says can hear now.
Can you hear Ella now?
Yeah, he says yeah, everyone can hear us now.
It's weird though because it's not coming. It's coming through my mic, which is weird. So can you guys hear Ella clear or?
Yeah, let us know if everything's all good.
Yeah, because
And if it's like terrible
we'll
quality or anything,
yeah
then we'll have to try and fix it. But
we'll fix it. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so yeah, because it says that the desktop audio is just non-existent. Yes, just fine. We just got right. Okay, perfect. So guys, let me know if Ella's not coming through loud enough because for some reason it's only coming through my mic audio. It's not coming through my desktop audio, which is what it usually does. So I don't know if it's going to affect the quality at all, but just let us know if it does. That should have fixed things. So yeah, Ella. So once again, so sorry. If you could just kind of repeat what you were saying, I'll prompt you obviously because I know that it's like you might not remember, but basically, we were just talking about how like um obviously this is going to be the last Wednesday session, and we're going to try to have guests on Monday and Friday, right?
Yeah. So if you, it's not the same.
I know it's hard, isn't it? But
I was just saying, if you know anyone would like to be a guest, if you know any professional guests that or if you really enjoyed a particular professional guest or whatever, or if you want to come forward and you want to be a guest, just let us know. and we'll see if we can fit you into the schedule. So yeah, just get in touch and we'll see what we can do. But yes, um, so I think that's pretty much all I said.
Yeah, that was. I think that was it. Yeah. No, so yeah, so that's the crack, guys. Obviously, we'll be doing guests and learners, and we might alternate sometimes. Sometimes I reckon it may be two learners, and then maybe it might be two guests, or we'll kind of see how we'll just let it evolve naturally. But yeah, this one session will be stopping. But we, obviously we're going to keep the other ones going, and we obviously appreciate you guys for staying tuned in. It's been nice talking to you guys. Been nice, kind of being able to keep up with you guys and so on. So I've definitely appreciated you guys staying connected, if you excuse the pun, with us, because it's been really really cool, guys, and we've seen some really cool news articles and stuff together, so it's been really enjoyable.
Yeah,
um
definitely.
Otherwise, guys, update wise, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. Really, we've got all kinds of classes and so on. First one that comes to mind is obviously the photography class. We've been doing that every Thursday. Obviously, last Thursday we were quite fortunate because it had been raining. It was the back end of a storm. I don't know if you know that. And then so I was like really dreading it the whole week because I was thinking like, oh, what if it's going to rain? It was scheduled to rain, but I thought I'm not going to cancel the class until if it actually does rain. So on the actual day, I said to everybody like, oh guys, it's still on. And fortunately, we had like a decent like block of like a few hours where it was fine, and it was only at the end of the session when it actually did start to rain, so we managed to get out and about around Sunderland, and we got some pretty cool shots. So yes, guys, anyone, I saw Amelia was there, and anyone else who's watching the photography, who's been keeping up with our photography sessions, we will have a virtual session tomorrow, and in that session we will be looking at some of the pictures that you guys took, because you got some absolute crackers. Andy, you and Amelia had some amazing ones. Charlotte as well, you had some great ones. I saw that you. I know Charlotte's watching, so I saw that you sent me some stuff, Charlotte. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but after this session, I'll email you back at the very latest. Um, I'll email you back tonight, and I'll if you could just see it by tomorrow, and then if you could send it by lunchtime tomorrow, just because we'll look at it in the second half of the session. If it doesn't work, but it should work fine, so I think that'll be okay. I'll just notify you that was fine. And yeah, obviously a couple of other people we've got. And I hope that I think that Linda and Amelia uploaded those pictures that you guys took, so I think that you guys got those as well. We'll be looking at those too. So yeah, plenty for us to look at. And also in tomorrow's photography session, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be looking at camera kit, different kinds of kit that you've got, and different kinds of equipment. We're going to learn a little bit more about lenses as well, so it should be good fun. And then hopefully we're going to kind of plan for next week to have a little look in Roker. I think we're going to go to Roker Beach, and that should be a nice little day out photography session. But once again, we are going to be relying on the weather, so we'll see if it's going to rain or not, and etc. And it might be more intense because by the seaside it tends to be more extreme weather. Obviously, right? It's usually a little bit windier. It's usually a little bit rainier. So we'll see. But fingers crossed, guys. Any other sessions you've got in mind, Ella? Or any that's like popped up in your head?
Before I talk about other sessions, I wanted to say if anyone does have any work that they're particularly proud of or whatever that they want to send in, particularly to, if you want to send it directly to me, I manage a lot of our social channels, and I also do our newsletter. If you want to sign up for our newsletter, it's got a lot of our like sort of current courses coming up and stuff in it. But I try and add a featured image every week from a learner that they've maybe, most of the time it's learner work. Sometimes if we've had like something cool happen, then it's sometimes something different. But generally, I try and feature some learner work every week in the newsletter that goes out to all of our contacts. So if you would like to potentially be featured in the newsletter or on our social media channels or anything like that, just drop me an email. It's just ella@mediasavvic.co.uk. Just the same as any of our other staff emails, just Ella instead of Daniel or whoever. So definitely send those in to us, and I'll make sure you do go out at some point. Class-wise, let's think. We've got the digital skills sessions ongoing currently. So we've had a few of them now. I think we've had 3. Daniel did the first one, which is the digital skills basics. And you have to do that one before you can progress on to the others. But then after that, they're on sort of specific topics. So I've done one already on e-safety, and I'll be doing one at some point soon on social media. We've got some on employability. We've got some on what is this on? There's
So so far we've done the digital skills basics. So as Ella was saying, that's the prerequisite course. So you do that one, and then I can, if you just let me know, obviously Daniel at MediaSavvyCIC, that you're interested, I can send you the link to the YouTube and the Zoom recording, and you guys can have a watch of that. And then, beyond that, we're still doing them live every week. So you can watch the recorded sessions back if you express interest in them, but also there is the opportunity to do some of the live upcoming ones. I will be sending out everybody that was on the Digital Skills Basics course. I will be sending you guys out an email about the upcoming course that we have, which is next Tuesday. We have another one, which is Digital Skills Money Matters. So in that one, we are going to look at Trustpilot, shopping online, so Amazon and eBay. We're going to look at a couple of the things on Learn My Way, and then after that, we are going to kind of look at basic banking. We might look at a banking website, maybe some of the apps on the phone you can get. And also we're going to look at maybe PayPal or something like that as well. So there's plenty for us to kind of look at there, and we'll kind of break it down, and we'll have a look at some of those other things, and it'll be the same situation again, where it'll be like the class and then the Zoom session. So just let me know if you're interested, guys, in particular. If not, I'll send you guys out an email with a bit more details and just say, listen, guys, this is the course that's happening on Tuesday, and then I can send you out that YouTube link, and I can send you out that Zoom link. So Money Matters, it's definitely an important one. Obviously, I'd recommend it because, everyone, if you're not shopping online, if you're not buying stuff online, then you're living in the Stone Ages, and no offense, obviously, because I know people prefer that, but it just, generally speaking, it's a process that is causing you more time than you realize, and it is ultimately, it's going to be something that is going to become quite antiquated eventually. Like 10 years from now, I really struggle to believe that people are still going to be doing handling all the finances, buying stuff all face to face. Obviously, I'm not saying that you can't go out and go shopping and things like that, like of course, but there's just, when you see how convenient it is to use something like Amazon, then it's a breeze. Me and Ella, John Watson, we did some work at the Salvation Army with people in the 80s, and one of our learners, he'd never bought anything online before, and he was apprehensive, like most people who've never done it before. They think, oh, there's loads of scammers and fraudsters and stuff, and that's true, but we're going to teach you guys how to look out for that. But and it's not like there's loads or anything. You've got, I would say, as much of a chance something like that happening outside by someone looking at your card number or something, or one of those dodgy ATMs, as you do online, probably. So
I was just going to say that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a case of being careful. I think that people are more aware of how to avoid stuff like that in public, in person, if you know what I mean. So if somebody asks you for something weird in person, you're more likely to be like, actually, what's going on? Whereas I think sometimes people online, they don't sort of have that same thought process. So
Exactly.
It's just about being aware of what is going on, and it's easy to avoid once you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And if you guys want to know more on that, then you guys can email Ella, and you can watch the e-safety session back, where Ella goes into depth on more of those topics and how you can stay safe with your finances online, etc. Right, Ella?
Absolutely. On the e-safety session, we cover all sorts of different but there's plenty that will be covered specifically on the Money Matters section as well. So it is worth watching. Pretty much all of the ones in the series. It's there to give you both specific information that you can get in and out of. Say if you just wanna, or say if you've done one of the courses before. Say if you've forgotten about buying stuff online and online banking, then it's worth rewatching the Money Matters one instead of having to watch through however many, however much time of something that you're not that bothered about. So it is really good to think that everything's sort of separate, that you can pick and choose what you're interested in at the moment. But it's definitely worth watching them all at least once, I would say, and it'll give you a really good comprehensive knowledge of digital stuff. Really.
Exactly right, and yeah, good point, Ella. And obviously, if there's like as we were saying, once you've done the digital skills basics one, then you can kind of see whichever one's gonna. Obviously, it's great if you want to do all of them, and you're perfectly entitled to. But if you only want to select like a couple, just ask any of us, and we'll let you know whichever ones are available. Obviously, there's as we mentioned, Ella's safety one, or there's my Money Matters one that's upcoming. Haytham, I know if you saw that, just did online profiles and employability, I believe it was called. I hope I'm not butchering that title. And yeah, that was basically teaching you some employability skills and the more professional aspects of. There's an upcoming social media session, but that was teaching you things like LinkedIn and stuff, which was directly related to employability. Yes, so obviously I know we give a bit of a word soup there, guys, but I think you got the gist of it. So yeah, Amelia's saying that she recommends all these courses. They're great. So thank you very much for that, Amelia. Much appreciated. And Gary was just saying that yeah, people have been taking much more money online for restaurants and so on. And he says that he can only see it getting bigger in the next 10 years. And likewise as well, mate.
I would say so.
And yeah, so that's absolutely right. And Amelia saying dog looks like it's going to take a poop on your shoulder, and that's our calendar that we got there. Yeah, it was like I didn't realize that was in frame until now actually, but yeah, we've got a lovely calendar of dogs pooing in the background, which was it was like a wonderful Christmas gift that we got in the office. So yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Nice
Every
little
month a different dog and a different poo.
That's exactly right. There you go. So yeah, update wise, they're two of the big ones. Trying to think if there's anything else course wise. Obviously, I know that Rob's courses have started back up, and you attacked for the other day, right?
Yeah, it was. It was really interesting actually. I feel like I learned a lot. Like
awesome.
It was Fit Body, Fit Mind. It was really good. So I think there's one more session of that. So if you're interested in that, I'm sure Rob will be able to help you with signing up and stuff like that. Just I would say probably email courses at media@bcic.co.uk just for our general sort of sign up and course information and stuff like that, and somebody can direct you to whoever after that. But it's definitely really interesting. Like it was about sleep and mental health and how that can affect your physical health and all this other stuff as well. It was really interesting.
There you go.
Definitely worth taking part in that one. Yeah, they were really good. So I think that everybody will probably learn something new as well. Like
definitely.
If you kind of say it's like it's about sleep, like you're just like okay, everyone sleeps. Like, but there was definitely lots of stuff that I didn't realize I didn't think about.
So yeah, guys, obviously, robert@mediasavvycic.co.uk if you want to kind of learn a bit more about that, or just send us a message on Facebook or anything if you're ever interested in any courses, because someone will get back to you who knows about it, so don't worry. We're usually pretty active on our Facebook, so it's always a good way to find us as well. And yeah, Lynn's asking, is there not a photography? Yeah, so Lynn, I was just mentioning just before, there is a photography session on tomorrow. It's going to be a virtual session, and it'll be the same time. It'll be 10 to 12, have an hour break, and then we'll do 1 to 3 as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, Lynn, we'll look at some of the photos that we took last week when we were out and about. And yeah, it'll be good fun. We'll have a bit of crack, and yeah, should be good fun. I've really been enjoying the photography sessions lately, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And yeah, I think that's about it for updates. What do you reckon? I can't. Nothing else is coming to mind really.
No, I'm not sure.
But yeah, just the last one to reiterate, and then I guess we can move on. Is just if you guys, as Ella was saying, because I don't know if Ella's mic wasn't on at that point, as I'm recalling now. don't think there's a link to it this week. A list of sessions. All right, Lynn, was if you just you should get, if you're subscribed to the YouTube, Lynn, at 10 o'clock when we go live, you should get a notification. And if not, if you just go onto our YouTube page, then the session will be there as well. So yeah, just keep your I don't know, wait, eyes peeled or ears peeled. I don't know. I get them mixed up. So, and I feel like it's getting that late in the day that my brain's just starting to melt. So yeah, just keep both of them peeled, and then at least that should work. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. So I think that is about it for updates. Oh yeah, the final one. Newsletter. Alice was saying that she, I don't know if you guys caught it, was saying that she does the newsletter every week, and she was saying that she always features some learner work. So if you guys have been doing any learner work and you want it to be featured on our newsletter, then please get that in. And I know that everybody that has been on some of my courses has done some amazing stuff. So get some of that sent across to Ella, even if it was some of the stuff we've used in the photography sessions. I guess that'd be usable as well, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Exactly. So
anything at
yeah,
all. I've featured things from ages ago as well. Some of Lisa's courses from last year,
there
some
you
more
go.
newer things as well. Also, so just if you've made it, we would love to share it.
So yeah, there you go, Amelia, Andy, Charlotte, Lynn, even anybody else that's been on the photography course. If there's a like one, don't obviously send her everything we've took, because I know we've took loads of pictures now, but like maybe one or two shots just to send them over to Ella if you've got something that you'd like to be featured in our newsletter. And there you go, voila, as they say in France. Right. Speaking of France, I tell you what, I watched. You were on a bit of a Anthony Bourdain tear for a while. How's that going? I know there's like 12 series, so I don't know if is that.
Yeah, I think we're taking a little break currently, but we have been watching quite a lot of them.
Did I've got an episode that you should watch on it, right? I don't know if you've seen this episode yet. It's on season 11, and it's when he was in Hong Kong with Christopher Doyle.
I don't know.
Oh, what's that?
Sure.
That's one you should definitely watch, because Christopher Doyle's on it, and like he is a cinematographer, and I think he's an English guy. I think he's English or German. I can't really remember. I think he's English. And he shot like one of my favorite directors, Wong Kar-wai. He like was the cinematographer on all of his movies, and he's like a total like, so he's shot like these super famous movies, like he's probably shot with like every famous director in Asia just about. And he's like a real kind of enigma, and like you listen to him speak, and he's just like a mad, like crazy artist.
Yeah.
And like the way that he talks about stuff, it's like so eccentric, and it's like so kind of like you tell he's got that like kind of artistic flair.
Yeah.
And like, the same as what you see when you have like, if you see a David Lynch interview, he's like that kind of big esoteric figure. So he's got that vibe, and you can tell Anthony Bourdain just absolutely loves him, because Anthony Bourdain like loves Wong Kar-wai, so he's talking about it with him.
Yeah.
And it's really really cool, because it's one of the, I think also like Christopher Doyle's listed on that episode as one of the directors of photography. So he actually directed some of the actual photography in the episode.
Wow.
So the episode looks like so like slick and cool. And he made like a real focus about like preserving old Hong Kong. So it's like they go and see like all of like, there's all of the like lush food and stuff, but then he goes and sees like these like street vendors as well.
Yeah.
And like he kind of, people who like fix umbrellas and stuff, like really cool stuff, and like talks to them. And it's so cool. They get some like really really good shots. So I definitely recommend the season 11 Hong Kong episode.
I'll definitely check that out.
And another one, I don't know, I think it's like season 6 or 7. It's when he goes to Indonesia, and he goes to Indonesia, and he meets, this is so weird, right? But he meets, I don't know if you've seen this episode, but he meets Barack Obama in Indonesia. And so yeah, it's seriously, honestly. And he meets Barack Obama in Indonesia, and apparently Barack like grew up in Indonesia, like, or he lived in Indonesia for a couple of years as a kid, and it's just so surreal and like crazy. And Barack's like reminiscing about being a kid, like being a kid in Indonesia and eating all this street food. It's such a surreal episode, honestly. But
I've seen like photos of them together.
Yeah,
and stuff, and I'm like mashing those together.
I think it's in Jakarta,
I've actually seen.
But it's really cool. Yeah, so I definitely would check those ones out.
Yeah.
Couple of really cool episodes there. But yeah, I'm a huge Anthony Bourdain fan, as you obviously know, and I was so excited to hear that you and Scott had kind of been watching some of his stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, as soon as we started watching the movie, you have to tell Daniel. You have to tell Daniel that his recommendation was so good.
That's good. I'm
So,
glad you liked it.
but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we spoke about it before. Like one of the things I like about Bourdain is just how real it is. Like there's so many food and travel programs where they go to like all the like kind of top like haute cuisine and like the top like 5-star food like Michelin star restaurants, and he's just like so not about that at all. He's like he wants to find like the most authentic dishes that they've got.
Yeah.
Like he wants to go to the street food stalls. He wants to go like he was in Glasgow having like battered sausage and chips. You know what I mean? He wants to get like amongst it. He wants to find out what the locals say is good, and then he wants to eat that. So it's that's what I love about Bourdain. That he was
Yeah.
like that authenticity. I think is so important.
Yeah. I think that it's. I mean, sometimes I think that it makes for potentially difficult viewing in some of the episodes, if you
For
know what I
sure,
mean.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He talks about things that can be, say some of the problems that area is having, or
yeah, yeah,
some of the politics around it, and
yeah,
or
yeah.
looking at some issues. I can't remember which episode it is, but I'm sure he eats like a big meal. I think he's somewhere in Asia, but he eats with um quite a lot of people in at one go, and the the women and the children have to sit at a table separate from him, and he
Wow.
he and I'm sure he talks to one of the women
Yeah,
who
yeah.
in that group, and I'm sure they she was a medic in some kind of conflict or something like that. But he
Wow.
says, despite her military experience,
Wow.
she's still not allowed to sit with the men. And
That's a
but he
shame. Yeah.
also says, rightly or wrongly, I don't say anything, and
Yeah. It's in.
he still eats with the men and doesn't invite her to the table or anything like
Wow.
that. And I think he sort of does comment on those kind of issues. Is even if he sees it as a problem,
Yeah.
he does things in a way that is sympathetic to locals
Yeah.
and tries to get something real, but also comments on those things with an opinion, particularly on issues of things like sexism and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where
Yeah. Yeah.
he sort of acknowledges them, but is true to the culture of that
Yeah.
place, and
So it's
tries not to rock the boat. I would say, if
for
you know what
sure.
I mean. Like I think he
Definitely.
just wants to experience it as um sort of, I don't know, like as authentically as possible. If that makes sense.
And just in general, it's like in general, like for anyone like traveling, that's the best way to experience stuff is just to like get amongst stuff. It's just to kind of get involved with the local culture and anything
Mm.
like that. And I know that you're a big fan of that as well, Ella. So I think that's definitely like massively important. So I totally agree, and that's one of the things that I love about him as well. So yeah, so um, Amelia was saying that she said that my favorite artist and photographer is Lavender Masuku. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Which is Charlotte, obviously. So I think that that's really cool. So great stuff there. Um, and
Charlotte is a great creative, though. Definitely like an all round creative artist.
I would say so as
Yeah.
well. So one that maybe I'm not familiar with this person, but maybe you are, Ella. I think so. Charlotte was saying that. Excuse me. She says I've been watching a lot of interviews of Edith Head, and she says if you're interested in fashion and costume, definitely recommend watching some of them.
I don't actually. I'm gonna look her up. Maybe I know some of her work more than her, so I will definitely have a look.
So that's 100%, one to look out for, yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'll check her out as well, Charlotte. So thank you for the recommendation there. Oakley dokley, as in the words of Ned Flanders. So now we are gonna have a little look at some news. Okay. Um, let's have a look at some good news. Good, positive, upbeat, motivational. More adjectives. Right, it's like all right, so and then right, okay, so let's have a look. All right, so here it says that map lets you see how your hometown has moved across. Oh my god,
Sorry about that.
it's all kicking off now. The
So
wheels,
sorry about
the
that.
wheels have truly fallen off now, guys. It's
Oh my!
the
I
show's.
didn't hear anything. Phew.
That's it. Yeah, it's first Wednesday session, and she's destroying she's tearing it
No,
down
the
already.
first and the last one.
Okay, guys. So yeah, it says here that map lets you see how your hometown has moved across 750 million years of continental drift. And it says that an interactive online map allows you to punch in your home address and superimpose the global geography of epochs gone by to see how the Earth has changed over 750 million years. That's a long amount of time, guys. And it's saying here that the results can be super surprising. 600 million years ago, for example, when multicellular life was just beginning to emerge in the ocean, the US capital of Washington, D.C. was smashed into the east coast of West Africa. Did you know that, Ella?
Not until this map.
And it was as part of a jumbled ball of land stretching all the way to the South Pole, which would eventually break up to form the Americas.
I did know that all of the things were squashed together more
Yeah.
millions of years ago, and then they all separated. But I didn't know any sort of specific locations and how they actually moved. It was really interesting to see the specific bit, and like the sort of globe itself has got like the layout of the current countries as we know them. It's like a little black outline, so you can see that on top of the globe as well, which is really interesting. So you can always kind of see where the current sort of stuff is, even if you go back on the globe like 700 million years or something. So, but yeah, definitely very, very interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really. I mean, it really is. Like, yeah, it's almost mind bending to think that, like, the Earth is over 600 million years old. It's like it's incomprehensible. You literally can't imagine that because it's just so long. And it really, if you think about your existence as a human, you think if you're lucky, if you are the luckiest person, like out of a few people, you could live to be 100, right? And then if you think 600 million years, like that's how long the Earth has been. It's like it's so crazy. It makes you think like, because we all get kind of caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, right? And then if you think like, okay, this is 750 million year timeline. I might live 80 years, so it's insane,
I'm like desperately trying to do some maths now. Like, how many times is that? Like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but
I mean?
I'm not smart enough to work that out. So if we've got any mathematicians in the chat, they can maybe help us out with that one.
Well, I guess 600 million. So if you live to be 100, then that's 6 million lifetimes, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's right. Wow. Like, it's weird though because like it's just words. It's hard to put in perspective how long a million actually is.
Well, just think about what 1,000 years ago things were like, if you know what I mean. Think about 1,000 years ago. We're talking like, the Battle of Hastings and
Yep.
just out of the Dark Ages.
Yeah, so right, that's a good kind of way of looking at it, right? Like, look at the human advancement, but like that's even so insane though, right? Because you think like 1,000 years, okay, you think about human civilization, how fast it's developed over like 1,000 years, like how much. Then even like technological advancement, how much that's advanced in 40 years. But then you think like the Earth's existed for so long before humans, like we actually haven't even been in terms of like the actual like how long the Earth's been around. We haven't been around that long actually, which is kind of crazy to think about.
No, so crazy. Well, I feel like I'm contemplating existence so much.
Existential
right now.
crisis time.
Yeah, like just looking out of the window, like
Yeah, and it's that's the thing. It's like we came into this world and it was already as it was, you know. It's like which is pretty amazing to think.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, it is really like mind-boggling, and just the idea of that, like I never really think about that, like the fact that the Earth was like kind of smashed together and then like countries just generally formed. Um, it's kind of crazy. Like imagine right now if like everything was like one continent. Like imagine that. Like if all of these continents never split up and it was like all one continent. It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah. Massively crazy.
Um, so yeah, they were saying that well, the creators were saying that obviously you'll never be able to prove correctness, but they say in the test they find that the model results can vary significantly, but they chose this model because it is widely cited and covers the greatest length of time. So that makes sense. And they were saying that yeah, it's cool, and I think especially because you know you're able to they were saying that the project's also attached to the world's largest dinosaur database, which is pretty cool. So in it was
Yeah,
search.
was that where you can see where the dinosaurs were located on different parts of the Earth and at different times?
Yeah. I believe so. So
Do you have
yeah,
a favourite dinosaur?
dinosaurs. Wow. So European dinosaurs. So we've got here dinosaur pictures and facts. It seems a bit like a it's quite a basic web design, but that's not to its discredit. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, and it's got the kind of dinosaur periods, the Triassic, Jurassic, and oh, not even gonna try that word. Do you want to have a go?
Is it the Cretaceous?
That's the one, Cretaceous. Yeah, it's not actually that hard when you hear it, but it's just at a glance. And then you've got North American dinosaurs, South American dinosaurs, European dinosaurs. Let's have a look at some European dinosaurs, shall we?
Yeah, but I want to know what your favourite dinosaur is. I would like to open that up to the chat as well.
I'm gonna have a look at these and answer you because I'm just gonna say something like
Okay.
poo, like you know, oh a T Rex, and it's like okay, it's like come on, yeah, it's like
I'm gonna try and locate this as well.
so. Let's have a look at
I want to
some.
look at the list.
So yeah, if you're looking at if you're interested in the so guys, if you're interested in his website, even it's literally just dinosaurpictures.org. Can't get more simple than that, right? And then I'm on Europe dinosaurs here, so let's have a look at the dinosaurs that we had in Europe. And they've all got a bit of some quite difficult names. We've got one here. It's called Dimorphodon. And this one here is really cool because it looks kind of like a pterodactyl, but with like a raptor's head. So
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm guessing it's maybe like Dimorphodon.
Dimorphodon. That
Or
sounds right.
maybe Dimorphodon? I don't know.
We've got one
I
here.
haven't heard of it.
Skirmimus.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
It's just a squirrel. It just looks like a squirrel.
Like, but it's got sounds like squirrel.
Yeah.
It might as well be squirrel emus.
It's got like a squirrel emus. But it's got like a
squirrel emus.
Squirrel. It's got like a bird's head. It's got like a bird's head, but like with a squirrel's body.
It's
got a beak.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh my god! And then you've got the Bellubrunus here, which just that looks like a generic kind of pterodactyl. Quite cool. And then okay, we'll do one more. This is the Eotyrannus, which looks really cool.
What if you? That thing's really cool.
Yeah. I'm guessing though that these. Okay. So yeah, these are all quite cool. This one here looks crazy.
Well, it lived in the United Kingdom.
Which one?
This one? This Eotyrannus?
Eotyrannus. Okay, I'm guessing it's we are butchering this so bad.
Why didn't you just choose like Stegosaurus?
I know. Okay, let's check out a little bit about this. We'll have a good tangent on this show, so decent. Wow, so Gary is hitting us with some solid facts here. Gary's just saying some real cool stuff here. He's saying that let's every 4 million years the Earth swallows the size of the USA. So there you go. And the deepest part of the oceans is a really good documentary, and it teaches you about how
Wow.
the Earth eats itself, which is amazing.
Oh my god, I'm just reading the Gary fact.
I know, it's so cool. And he was saying that the Nothosaurus, he says it's like a fish dinosaur the size of skyscrapers. So
Nice.
imagine running into that. That is quite something. And then yes,
Ichthyosaur's cool. So I'm just saying Gary's other suggestion.
very cool. Yeah, very cool. So yeah, this dinosaur that me and Ella were just looking at was reproduced by laying eggs. Only one specimen has been found by paleontologists, so that's amazing.
Oh,
And then
I've just discovered something really exciting on the website. I don't know if you've seen this yet,
mhm.
but if you can see there, it says random dinosaur, but if you hover over it first.
Okay, right, random dinosaur, got it. Yeah.
Are you hovering?
Oh, and it's like flashing colors.
It's got like rainbow colours.
Damn, oh, damn.
Amazing.
Reminds me of RuneScape. That.
I know.
Like
I was just
the
thinking that.
when you sell stuff on
It should be
RuneScape.
like a wave. Like
All right, guys, let's check out a random dinosaur. So we've got the Linhan Linhanucus was in Inner Mongolia. And do we have a nice picture of it? Wow. Whoa. I don't know if you saw that, Ella. It's like a giant ostrich, basically.
Oh, I've just done it as well on my machine, and I got Abelisaurus, I
Cool.
believe. And it's something, it looks big, whatever it is. It looks a bit like a T-Rex.
Wow. So yeah, guys, these are really cool. I mean, it just shows me how little I know about dinosaurs as well. So yeah, let's see what else do we have here. We've got a few good news articles. Let's do maybe one or two more. Right, we're gonna go for the butterfly one because I thought there were some nice pictures here. Excuse me, guys. Photographer captures his passion for the flight of the butterfly, detailing 17 species in 3 year study. Which is really cool. And yeah, it's a dedicated wildlife photographer has spent 3 years amassing a stunning collection of images of the UK's most beautiful butterfly species, some of which he took from his very own backyard during lockdown. And I mean, there you go, guys. You guys, if you guys have got backgrounds, I know obviously with this links in a little bit with the photography stuff we've been doing. We've looked at shallow depth of field. If you look at that picture there, you remember you would take that with your high shutter speed because you want to capture the motion. Then you've got your nice shallow depth of field, and you could do that. You see that picture we've got here, guys? That's some very basic Photoshop could give you that technique, right, Ella? If you just kind of duplicate your layers, right, and then just put them all under the same kind of background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could literally take, I'm guessing that you can't keep the lens exactly in the same place unless you're using a tripod or whatever, and you'd have to be taking the photos really, really quickly. But even if you got them and, if you were just using your hand and you managed to photograph the butterfly at different stages of flight, you could just choose one of them that you like the background on the most, and you could just isolate the butterflies and just drop them on so that you could keep them, in separate layers, but you could just rip out the background on the ones that you don't want to keep the background for.
Exactly. So there you go. So there's Ella. Yeah, and guys, honestly, if you guys ever have any Photoshop related questions, Ella is the one for that. And Andy, we're not gonna. I don't have that up to date just because things ended up getting like a bit shifted around with the session, so I didn't really have time to kind of prepare for some of the stuff that we had originally planned. So we're going a little bit off the cuff here today, mate. So I don't have that animation. But I'll make sure to get it up for next time, bud. So yeah, so just remind me on, mate, and we will, because I actually saw a little bit of that when you sent the stuff over, and it looked really, really good. So yeah, good job for that, Andy, mate. And I'll try to kind of dig that out for next time, bud. Charlotte is saying, fun fact: we found a fossil in my back garden when I was younger, which I found out was called a Belemite, which was the squid-type creature that lived before the dinosaur ages.
That's so cool.
Wow, that's actually amazing, right?
That is amazing.
That's so cool. yeah, I mean that is really really interesting. So yeah, I wish that I could find something that cool in my back garden. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I think archaeology and paleontology is quite interesting, right? It's like they're
definitely.
they're pretty cool things. All right, so let's have a little look here. We've got the Ecuadorian spouses that break record is the world's oldest married couple. Um,
This is very cute.
and yeah, so these guys here secured the title of the oldest married couple in the Guinness World Records, and you've got a really sweet picture there of them together. And yeah, it was saying that so Julio is 110, which is
Wow,
quite an age, and Waldromina is 104, and they took that on August 28th. That picture there. So wow, so that is quite special, guys. And so yeah, they said that Julio slipped away from his parents to secretly marry Waldromina one February day, and both of the families disapproved. And then he's saying that 79 years later, they're still together. So well, they've almost been together for 80 years, guys. And
wow,
wow, imagine that, right? And he said that he at 110 years of age and she at 104 are both lucid and both in good health. Um,
fantastic.
Although their relatives say they're a little depressed because they missed their family's big get-togethers that they haven't been able to attend due to the pandemic.
I bet.
So yeah, it's saying there are longer marriages, but no other between people so old. It's saying according to the Guinness World Records, and it's saying that they have a combined age of just short of 215 years.
Wow,
So imagine that. So yeah, and it's in that they're both two retired teachers, and this August they got their awards. So yeah, I think that's some really really cool stuff.
I'm just reading it now as well. They're saying that he's got 4 surviving children, 11 grandchildren, 21 great grandchildren, and 1 great great grandchild.
Wow. Yeah, so that is it's some really cool, interesting stuff, right?
Really cool. But my favourite thing about this article is that one of their daughters says, she describes them a little bit. It's towards the end of the article, and she says, her father enjoys watching television and drinking milk.
Wow. I mean, I love drinking milk, so if he's 110 and he's still alive, that's a good sign for me. Because like, there's always like conflicting health things where it's like, oh, milk's bad for you, lactose is not good for you. And then, people say, oh, well, calcium's really good for you, milk's full of calcium. So it's like, you never know what to believe, but this guy's
Yeah.
110. He's doing all right. He
If
drinks
he
milk
likes
every day.
drinking milk and he's 110,
There you
can't be that
go.
bad.
There you go, guys.
And says that her mother, who enjoys dessert, likes to read the
Don't we
paper
all?
every morning. So
Cracking.
I think that's maybe like an advertisement for milk and for desserts, really.
Wow. Hey, I can't argue with that. I'd get amongst that, like definitely. I love both of those really. So yeah, but tiramisu or some cheesecake. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. But what's your favorite dessert, Ella Clasper?
Maybe chocolate brownie and ice cream, or
Oh
something really
god.
rich and chocolatey, like a dark chocolate tart or something.
Like what about like a chocolate fudge brownie, which is nice and hot with like a kind of fudge sauce on it or something?
Sounds good.
That sounds good.
But like as rich and dark as possible, like
Yeah.
almost bitter, if you know what I
Oh
mean.
my god. Oh, I love dark chocolate as well. I've
Yeah,
been eating a lot recently. I've been eating a lot of like 70% dark chocolate, and
yeah.
it's the way to go. One
I
time,
once had some that was 100%,
dude.
like,
Yeah.
and it was intense, but it didn't really taste that much. I didn't think.
Well, when I had 100% chocolate, I was like, I got it as like more of like I wanted to try it, and I wasn't
Yeah,
really
same.
expecting it to be nice. But when I had it, I was like, oh my god, this just tastes like eating a raw coffee bean. It just tastes that bitter. It was just like the most intense
Yeah.
bitter taste ever. Not for me. I mean, it's not even chocolate, right? It's cacao then, isn't it? Like the
Yeah,
pure form of
right.
chocolate is cacao, I think, right?
I just got it as a bar though.
So did I. Literally, I've had the exact same thing, and
Yeah.
it's just it's overwhelming, man. But I
Yeah.
think it's quite good. I mean, cacao nibs, they were like a superfood apparently.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Um, but yeah, I've went to a chocolate museum or before. Yeah, it was a museum, and I like kind of learned how they made it, and it's quite interesting how they like mix it with like they've got like a kind of butter, and then they kind of I saw the whole process of how they did it,
Yeah.
and it was really interesting actually. It was more
Yeah.
interesting than I imagined it would be, but it escapes me a little bit now. But yeah, the process of it was quite interesting.
Yeah. I once had some chocolate when I was in Italy in Palermo, and I think this chocolate is supposed to be the most similar to how the Aztecs made it, or something like that.
Whoa, cool!
I think it's called Bonaiuto
Wow,
chocolate. And I think it's quite expensive, basically, if you're not in Palermo, where it's just pretty standard and cheap.
right,
You can just get it from, sort of a normal chocolate shop, really. But
decent.
that was the best chocolate I've ever had,
I bet.
definitely.
I bet. Yeah,
Um,
the where I went to the that chocolate factory in Japan
oh yeah,
In Hokkaido, and it was really really cool. And it was nice there. But I think I had some chocolate in Italy too, and it was pretty good. But I can't remember what type it was or what the brand was.
mm,
But I've never. What's on my list though is I'd love to go to like Belgium and have like proper Belgian chocolate. Like it's always
yeah,
been on my list, and I've never been able to do that. So,
I
because
bet that's good.
yeah, because that's like what Belgian chocolate. Like it's like when people are trying to sell chocolate,
Yeah,
they'll say, "Oh, it's Belgian chocolate," right?
yeah.
So I'd
I feel
really,
like you'd have to find somewhere really authentic though, because I feel like every place ever would just be like Belgian chocolate,
yeah,
Belgian
it's gonna
chocolate, and
be,
it wouldn't
yeah,
really be Belgian chocolate.
it's in Belgium, so it's like,
That's it.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so
So yeah, that's definitely the one. More on that later, I'm sure, because you know what it is, right? I can see the Brussels being on my list quite obviously when stuff gets back to normal. It's very tangible because from Paris or from Amsterdam, you can get the Eurostar in like a few hours and get to
yeah.
Brussels because it's the hub of the EU, right? So they've made it really
Hmm.
accessible. So it's not that difficult to get to Brussels
Yeah.
from Paris or from Amsterdam or somewhere on the Eurostar line.
Mm.
So that is probably what I would do. I'd do like 3 days in one place, 3 days in Brussels. I think that would be a good way to do it.
Yeah.
And
Sounds good.
I don't think the tickets are that expensive actually as well.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah. One of my friends recently he went to Copenhagen, and
Oh yeah.
from Copenhagen you can get to Sweden, and he went from by train. It's like quite close.
Uh huh.
He went from Copenhagen in Denmark to Malmo, Sweden, and you can get
Uh huh.
a train all the way there. And it's only like a couple hours, I think, or an hour or so. But he said that he kind of regretted it because he was there for the full day, and he says Malmo, Sweden. And it's like it's in Sweden, but it's not necessarily like an interesting place. There's nothing like special about it.
Okay.
So he said I'm in Sweden, but like it would have been better to just stay in Copenhagen. But
Mm.
another one that I would really like is from Helsinki down to Estonia, from Finland Helsinki
Yeah.
down to Tallinn in Estonia, because it's like 2 hours on a boat, and that's quite convenient as well.
Yeah. I
Um,
bet that would be good.
yeah,
Tallinn looks like such a, kind of what people say like a melting pot of stuff. Really. So many different styles of architecture in one
yeah,
place.
very very cool. And yeah, there's a few that you can do like that where you can get like you can go. Well, I was in Trieste in Italy,
Mhm.
which is it's on the Slovenian border.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
You said.
and yeah, you can go from Trieste in Italy down to Slovenia, and it's actually that's not that far. I'm not sure exactly the distance, but it's like it's really weird because it's like the dubbed as the least Italian city, and it like looks like Slovenian architecture, and it looks super Slovenian. And I think in a lot of the tourist information places there was like pictures of Lake Bled, I think it's called, in Slovenia, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like you can get like tours into Slovenia from there, and I don't think it's that expensive. So
Hmm.
there you go, guys. Hit you with a couple of factoids. Um, yeah, Amelia is saying that she's been to a cheese factory in Holland, and yeah, Holland. When I was in Amsterdam, there was like cheese everywhere, and it looked unreal. And I tried some of it, and it
Making me
was
hungry.
It was really good. They do really good cheese. And she says it was not a nice smell, but the things that they made out of cheese were amazing. So I can totally understand that. Um, yeah, that's pretty funny. Um, and yeah, so that's cracking then. I think that, guys, so if you would please fill in that survey for us, I've linked the survey there in the chat. So if you guys would complete that for us, you know the drill, guys. Takes about 30 seconds, a minute, not that long at all. And if you could just get that done, then we would be ever grateful, guys. Last thing on Estonia as well. Do you know Jackass, right? The show Jackass.
Mm.
Well, Bam Margera, obviously, I think he's fell off the wagon a bit now, but he recently lived in Estonia for like 3 years or something, and I only found out the other day, and I was thinking like, whoa, like, but he was like living there for like a while, and
Weird.
I think it's because he's like such like his favorite band's like him, and he's like Finnish rock star and stuff, so I think that it's like he loves all that kind of Scandinavian metal and stuff, so I think that's maybe why. Makes sense, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think just generally there's a pretty good scene for anything rock and metal up there.
There's like yeah, there's like big metal festivals in Finland and stuff, isn't there? Like Scandinavian metal's like a huge like genre, I think, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
black metal came from Scandinavia as well.
yeah,
I know that they're famous
yeah,
for a lot of those kind of genres and stuff. Um,
yeah.
yeah, cool. So guys, if anyone has any questions that they want to ask me or Ella just before we go, then just get them in. If not, guys, then that is it for today. We'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow, 10 to 12, 1 to 3 for our photography session, guys. What's happening? I'm having a meltdown here. Okay. And all right. So yeah, make sure you do that survey. And that's it then, guys. I think that's about it for today. Thank you for joining us. This is going to be the last Wednesday staying connected, but we'll join you again next week, and it's going to be a Monday to Friday session, and I think there'll be one this Friday as well. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Make sure you do the survey, and I'll leave the advice lines on just for a couple of minutes there, guys. But thank you very much.